Afternoon, everybody. Happy Friday and happy Valentine's Day. This is week 6 of Ekstra Accounting Solutions Business Journey, where we look at the week that's been and what we've been up to. So on Monday, I met with two people. One is an IT developer who I'd worked with previously in a previous role, and it was just about really seeing if there was any synergies around services that perhaps we could refer to each other through our respective clients. Now in the afternoon I met a financial advisor whom I had met previously at a networking event, and it was a similar type of conversation around the collaboration potentials through business owners who may want to think about pension planning, tax planning, different types of life insurance, critical illness insurance and that type of thing. So it's always good to have different people around you, business partners that you can refer to the right experts if they need help in that area. Then on Tuesday, Tuesday I spent the day looking and refining my website. I've made some changes to that, and I'd also created a YouTube channel for Ekstra Accounting Solutions videos, so that these videos can be loaded up. So if you want to see previous videos for previous weeks, you can go along to that channel and see them. In the afternoon then I was looking at a business plan for a new client who is in the process of transitioning from a sole trader to a limited company. Wednesday then I spent some time actually registering all my details with HMRC so that I can become an agent for my clients to do their tax returns and submit RTIs, etc. And then yesterday morning I went along to Barclays Bank economic update, which was held in the Almost Baths in Belfast, and that was just the Northern Ireland representative giving us an update on the economic position at the minute and what they project it to be for the rest of this year. And then in the afternoon I went along to see another contact that I had from a previous role as a bank account manager, with a view to see if there was any synergies there around helping business owners who may need a set of accounts prepared to be submitted with bank loans and bank loan application or fundings and that sort of thing. So it's good to surround yourself with key business partners, so that if you need to direct your clients towards some types of areas of expertise, you've got those, and that's my plan. And then today I've been focusing again on my marketing material and marketing strategy, and this afternoon I've got a call with the digital marketeer to look at exploring some other avenues around how I can develop my business, both online and offline, how to expand maybe my services and attract my ideal type of clients. So that's been my week. It's been a good week, and So now I'm going to move over to the next instalment of Emmett's story. See you in a mo. So here we are with Emmett. If you remember last week, we had met with Emmett and we had suggested, based on what we discussed, that perhaps it was a good idea to go along and do a financial health check on his business. So we've been out to do the financial health check, and what that consists of is spending some of the day in the business talking to different people. We got a set of accounts from the current accountant, and we had a look at some of the balances on the balance sheet and asked some questions of the business owner, or Emmett himself, and his staff around what some of those balances represented and meant, and just dug in a bit deeper to some of the numbers. So the overall result of that is that we've done a report, and the report basically says, I've got it here in front of me, on the whole the business is reasonably stable, but there are a couple of things that we would need to look at and think about the impact of those before we would take any further steps around working on a plan to expand that business or to buy another business as part of Emmett's objective or dream. One of the things we've noticed is that whilst the sales are quite high, the bottom line on the profit that's coming out is not relative to the increase in the sales if you look back over the number of months and indeed into the previous year. And again, looking at historic information would indicate that the business is, from a customer point of view, is growing and expanding, but the amount of profit that or margin or return for Emmett is not relative to the increase in growth. So we would need to understand a bit more as to why that is. From a balance sheet perspective, there does look to be quite a large amount of debt that's sitting in the 90 days and over, and that's always a bit of a worrying sign, because it may be at this stage that debt now is no longer collectible. So we need to investigate those numbers. They don't actively do credit control. Having talked to the admin staff, they generally do as what they think they can collect, but they're not expert credit control people. So it may be that we'll have to call upon some more experts to be able to collect that. Working further down, the creditors looks bill, and that's the amount outstanding to suppliers, also looks quite high. So we need to understand why that would be, because if there's a reasonable amount of cash in the bank, there isn't any reason why the creditors couldn't be paid. But then it might be connected to the fact that the cash flow is a bit lumpy, and without a cash flow forecast, we don't understand that. So we need to look at that. What else we found? Oh yes, they haven't done a stock take in a while. They generally do it maybe once a year, probably just at year end to confirm a figure. Given the velocity of sales, etc., and the amount of purchases outstanding, I would be keen for them to do a stock take on a more regular basis. So probably looking at doing it once a quarter at the very least. There isn't any accruals put through the accounts, so we don't know, if we look at the profit and loss at the minute, whether that's a genuine figure or not. So what we really need to do is to start to look in more detail at the transactions and work out in relation to sales what cost of sales may be outstanding. We probably need to look a wee bit deeper into the margins of the products, etc. So there's a little bit of work that needs to be done just to solidify, I suppose, in our mind that the business is sustainable as it stands. We're looking at a picture in time, and I would suggest therefore that we need to come on board with a view to possibly putting in the cloud accounting package, and then training the staff how to use that, so that we have real-time information, and then maybe move to a management accounts position, which will require a budget, and effectively we need to look at cash flow management, we need to look at credit control. So there's a number of things that needs to be done to enable us to have confidence that we can actually expand the business and go into different ranges, add more product lines on, or indeed go with to a lender with a business plan as to how we would approach the business that Emmett would like to buy. So that's where we are at the minute. So next week what we're going to do is look at what Emmett's decided to take on out of that list, and we'll work through then where we go from there. So that's where Emmett's at the moment. So it remains for me to say have a nice weekend, and hope you have had a good week, and I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.